Hey, Skate, you're not there, Skate. You left us. But for everyone else, we're gonna go over some marked hands, starting with Mike. Mike, what you got for us?
All right, so I've got them lined up these are a fresh session. I haven't even reviewed these. So just like to get critique it's a session where I probably played really, really bad. But anyways, I don't even know if I win these pots or lose these pots. They're marked by VPIP and then chronological order. So at this point, we're just 8 hands in. I'll just do a few if we'll switch it over, Larry. I know you've probably got some.
Yeah.
Um, so we get here, we raise it up, Jack 9 off, we get flatted. This is 50 NL on ignition, top pair with a jack kicker, kind of not the greatest flop for our opening range. Good for their range, they check. So probably at equilibrium, it probably checks and bets at a decent amount. I don't know what I do here. Let's see. I decided to check this one back.
I think that's fine. I think in theory we're gonna have a lot of checkbacks here
Yeah,
on a flop that is good, especially a flop that's good for big blind.
kind of what I think too. If we have a heart, we bet more often, maybe type of thing.
Yeah.
But I did decide to check here. Okay, boom, we get potted. We get pot. We got top two now.
Yeah, I don't think we need to raise in position here against this pot size bet. Yeah, I do the same.
I agreed with you at the time, certainly. Any other dissenting opinions? Speak up.
Anyone fast playing this?
I'm
I,
fast playing
I,
this.
yeah,
We have top
So
two.
my issue
Uh,
with fast playing this is that you are getting value from flush draws,
flush
and
draw.
there's two available. But also he's got lots of queen 10 and he's got queen 7 suited.
6,
Queen
7.
7 Susan doesn't do for us. Sorry. He's got 10 jack.
Yeah,
That's just, and he's got an offsuit too. So he's got
10 queen, you mean?
16. What is it? Yeah, I'm not thinking queen 10.
I think he has queen 10.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired. Sorry,
He
guys.
will
Queen
have
10.
queen 10 in his range. Yes, he will also have 6, 7 suited in his range.
Yeah.
Depending on the player, they could have all of the offsuit versions of all of those as well. But yeah, I'm with Larry. Theory wise, I think it's mostly just going to call here. But yeah, I could see getting on board with raising fast playing against a lot of opponents. I did choose to call. Uh, he checks on this Heart River.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I feel like it's going to be a value bet pretty much always. I go B75. And we get that.
So yeah, I think his bluff is ace of hearts, and I don't think it's enough. I think we get to
Snap
overfold.
call.
I think we get to overfold here.
I snap
I'm
call.
with the overfolding.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
This is an under bluff line, and I
Oh,
think so. One thing I'll tell you. So I was watching a Mark Goon piece, and he said that what he's finding when he's playing 5-5 lot, and he's saying that what's happening here is that people have picked up that they need to at some frequency bluff the case ace of hearts. But I just don't think it's enough. I think this is under bluff line.
oh, this is live?
No,
Okay.
no, it's not. I'm just saying, I'm giving an example from Mark Goon.
Okay.
I think that this is,
I think live, most people don't have the balls to check raise on the river.
yeah, okay.
So I overfold when I get check raised here. But online, I'm calling.
Yes, this is a fold. I think we
I'm playing
overfold.
against good players.
Are we at pretty much top of range though? And that would be, yes, we would be, this would be an overfold. Like if we fold this, I think that is
Yeah.
overfolding, right? At equilibrium, we should what, be calling
Yeah, I mean, so
more
if we look at
often?
MDF and we look at, so pot odds are 30%, right? So if this was pot, your MDF is 75% of range we're supposed to protect. This is definitely in our top 75%.
Yeah, that's
So
why I'm
from
calling.
that perspective, it's a call. Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
I was kind
Nice.
of with you, Larry. I thought we should be folding there. And then I also was like, well, shit, we are so like this is like one of the best hands we have here, I think.
Yeah, I think you've got a good point. You might be just too far up in range here.
Okay. All right, we got a poster, short stack poster. I don't think that's going to change what I do here. I'm going to ISO, but I'm going to bring the ISO size down due to the smaller size of the posters stack. Maybe that's not necessary, but I chose to do it.
I'd move it up. I'd move to 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's probably a good
I
idea
think
there in retrospect.
Make
I
it
think
5.
it's fine.
5 here all day. That's way too small.
No, I think it's fine.
This is
And
online, right?
yeah, this is online. This is
Yeah,
50
yeah.
NL on Ignition. It is an anonymous pool. We don't know these players other than for the 23 hands. Well, now this guy's new, so he's got one hand.
Okay. Okay, so we
Um,
have one hand on him. Okay.
yep. Yeah, one hand here. So our pocket six is we get called in the small blind to that smallish size bet here. They donk. I feel like this is just a fold.
Yeah, just throw it away.
Yeah, I wound up calling. I do take a strategy against donks called Nuffle. We've talked about it on this call many times. It's called neutralizing flop leads. I'm pretty sure this is probably what I was after was this strategy. And we are never folding to a donk. Our entire range. Doesn't matter. And we're never raising. And so we get to this point. They go with a large size here. The strategy that I follow would say to raise. This hand, certainly I'm not going to call. So if I remember right, I think I do follow the strategy and it's successful. I don't know how good this was or not, but it was successful.
He doesn't have quads here.
Nice.
Nice,
I don't know. What do
nice,
you got?
nice.
So maybe that's just more for entertainment value, but
Uh,
that is the strategy. That is the strategy that is
Yeah,
recommended by a very high level coach in the poker coaching community. So
WP, sir.
yeah, I found that kind of interesting, to be honest. I was just like, you know what? If I'm doing it, I'm following it. I'm going with it. So I felt like this whole flop was just maybe something we could like get away from, but
Yeah.
went with it. I'll do another one here and then pass it along. So we got our aces. There is a poster, so a short stack poster. This size, by the way, I'm sizing up for some reason. Because that would normally make it 4.5, which is pot. Being out of position in early position, there's a poster that's in position. I think it might be because of these bigger stacks behind us. And I'm also 150 big blinds deep. So that could be the reason. And one of the big stacks has been playing pretty fishy, 43-11. So that's
Nice.
probably why I sized up. Probably could even size up even bigger. Probably go 6 or 7. Exploitatively, of course.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And so we do get called by both of the big stacks in those spots. We have the ace of hearts on this flop. I think when we're talking about theory-wise, we should be checking a lot here. But do we want to just kind of maybe get our value now? We do have this player yet to act, who's been relatively tight. Only 35 hands, so nothing great to speak of. Shown to be somewhat aggressive when he is in a pot. Nothing crazy though. So, but nothing really to go off of there. I probably decided to check here, and I wonder if the larger stacks maybe even make that a better check, but I do check. And we get a B75 from the in position player back to us.
Call.
Yeah, I just call. Any thought on raising?
Never.
Eric
That's
says
call.
never. Yeah, I was considering it. And it would be kind of more getting off of theory where I think maybe this is over. If it's over stabbed, we should just call more often, right? Like, for example, if he's going to stab here with more hands than he should, then we should call more often. Is that right? Or should we raise?
No, we
So
should call.
yeah, I think this is fine. Against
Yeah,
this larger sizing.
I know it's fine.
If
I'm
it
just
was
trying
a
to think.
smaller sizing, I think you would check raise more.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with
Also,
you.
I think now when you're choosing to check raise, maybe the ace of hearts isn't the best. Because you want him to have flush draws that he's bluffing.
Yep. Or is the ace of hearts good to block those? He's kind of more loaded with value, like ace, jack, king, jack, queen, jack. And he doesn't have flush draws as much.
Good point.
Queens, stabbing with tens, 10 of hearts. I don't know. Yeah, so that was my question. If raising is, or if he's over stabbing, we should be calling more often as opposed to raising.
Yeah, he's gonna have more up larger bluff region.
Yeah. Okay, so we do call. Check.
Good turn. This is uncomfortable, and he's now repping it. His set of eights. I'm sorry, a set of nines or a set of fours. But I think we just call.
Do you ever check raise on the flop with the heart because you have like extra protection just in case you're up against a set?
Would you think they would then three bet? Because we're pretty deep, right? So if we check raise,
Oh, it's multi-way. I didn't see that.
yeah, correct. Yeah, it's multi. It does get around to us though, so we're now heads up face when we're in that spot. But
Yeah,
yes,
if we
you're right.
check
He
raise
did.
here, we have extra protection just in case we're up against like nines or something.
Yeah,
You
that's
get
what I was
value from
curious.
Jack X.
I was curious about this too, about raising at this point. I did choose to call there. But yeah, Dean, I'm with you. I was kind of like, shit, should I try to get it in here with this hand? Probably don't, not loving it, right? If we check raise, if we go to what, 35 and he jams, we fold, right?
I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's like, are they jamming their sets like that? Maybe
And they don't have
check
the ace
raise,
high flush draw to bluff jam anymore.
but they got like queen 10, queen king, stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's
Tough.
a good inflection point. We got this turn, and again, now they go B75 here, B70-ish, or yeah, B75. Larry said that this is uncomfortable, and it's absolutely uncomfortable. I think I called here. I
Yeah,
wasn't going to jam now. Everybody cool with this so far?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
All
check.
right.
He jams for basically pot.
I think that queen king maybe. Nice.
I think we're folding at this point.
Yeah, I fold. I mean, because I can have kings. I can have ace king with some of these. Probably don't have ace king anymore. I can have king jack maybe, but yeah, he's bluffing into a pretty strong range. I don't, again, I haven't seen these, so we'll see what he has here. Yeah, he had nines.
9, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the turn was, the flop check raise option and the turn, even the call was like, should I just get out now? But I don't think we can, right? We don't fold the flop
No,
on
you
turn.
can't. No, you can't fold that turn.
Yeah. All right. Should I pass it over to you, Larry? I'll have more. This is the same table. I'll have more if you want.
I'll do a couple and then we'll pass it back to you. I'm gonna have to leave a bit early today. Having some stuff come up. Go. All right, what hand is this? I guess I need to share my screen. That would help. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. So it uh ignore the button, it's misidentified. I am in hijack and it looks like well, yeah, I'm gonna take a pretty what am I doing here? Yeah, I'm taking a pretty wide line against the broken stack and the big blind here.
Yeah, but
Let's
you're in
see.
you're in cutoff.
Yeah, I am cut off.
That's not,
He's waiting.
you're
Yeah,
not
we're
out of
we're
line.
good. We're good.
Ace nine is totally fine.
Two flats, sad face, interesting flop. Two people behind. What are you guys doing here? Multi-way.
I only see one other, it looks like your head's up to me.
We are heads up. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're heads up against small blind.
Small blind flats. Okay. Any thoughts on this small blind player so far? Like, have you played with this individual?
Not that I recall. I don't remember any particular. No, I don't remember exactly.
Because that would be a big thing for me. Like, if this player is a reg or an unknown, I think the
Mhm.
flatting of the small blind makes a big difference.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
Um,
if it's an unknown or somebody you've shown to be kind of fishy, then you could maybe, I like to like kind of assign them more like a big blind range. But if this is a reg who's flatting a 3x in the small blind here, it's going to be a significantly different kind of range, I think.
yeah, that's a good point. Would
So,
you
so
better
we'll
check here
treat it as
against an unknown? Would
treat
you
him as
better?
an unknown. Yeah.
What would you better check here?
What did he do?
He checked.
Okay.
What would your preferred play be here?
I would probably check back.
I think that's a better play. I thought that I could bet with the ace of diamonds on this texture. Um, so I bet the classic 420. We get check raised.
Go with
to
a big sizing
raise.
too.
Yeah, but I don't think we can fold. Can we exit early? I don't think I think I might exit
Yeah.
early with a worse ace and no diamond, but I think with the ace of diamonds, we need to call here. Is that,
Yeah, absolutely. This size is, you're absolutely never folding, in my opinion.
yeah.
Anybody else? I wouldn't bet this big, to be honest, on the flop.
Yeah, this is a carrot corner player, not carrot corner. This is a Mark Goon player dependent adjustment, where he's taking this sizing often. And, he might overfold this actually. His argument is that you take this sizing, your people overfold. And when they have something good, we're gonna see exactly what we do when we take this big sizing. We're gonna see a check raise. But I don't think it works here. I think a smaller sizing is better to have value. So we can't fold. We get a good turn. He checks. What are you doing here?
Me, I would check back.
Mhm.
Which is what I do. I don't want to hit. I know the check raise here is just unpleasant. I check back.
Not only is it unpleasant, I guess you could still get value from their king X, right? They, in theory, they should be checking that turn a lot to you.
Yeah, it completes a lot. You're right. It completes a lot of our continues with check raise. So I do check back. And then he checks river on this brickish 8 of hearts. Now my question for you is, can we value bet?
Here's my thought. If you're going to value bet, and we stick to the kind of the theme of, if we value bet, we're only going to value bet half pot or more. We're never going to bet for less. Like, we're not going to block bet in position.
Yeah,
If that's the case, I think we check back. However, maybe we can block bet as an exploit to somebody who's not going to raise very often,
yeah,
and
against an unknown,
somebody
I
who's
think,
going to call a little wider with King X, Queen X.
I don't think he's calling you with worse. Even I don't think he's check raising worse.
okay, I
Like
think you have a
worse
good
is
point.
8-8.
So that, but if that's the case, then that puts him in very much of a, uh, very trappy player class, just quite possibly could just be very trappy here. And that, yeah, so then this is what we do. We go this sizing. And we get punished, and
Mm,
he comes back with this.
you
We're getting very appealing odds, but I just think we can fold here.
I agree. That's why, yeah, I think if we do bet and we go the B60 route, then we bet fold. But if we go B, like if we try to like sneak a block bet in position and he does it, then maybe we can start considering calling.
Yeah. I agree. I think, yeah. I think ultimately what we want to do is fold though. Yeah.
I like the bet
pretty crazy.
fold
He
line.
didn't check the turn or check raise the turn.
Yeah, he just, well, the turn I check back.
Mm,
Against rec players,
Flop,
check
and
fold
then he
on the
didn't
river
donk
is good.
bet, check raise, check, check. And I think you're right, guys. I think this is a little bit too thin. I think we just want to realize our equity. I think I was enamored with the prickish river. And so that's why I got punished.
But now if they're like an unknown, like we considered,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the value bet's okay. Right? I mean, you're going to get, it's thin value. It's very thin, but you're
Yeah,
going
it's
for
thin.
thin value, considering that the opponent might call you with a worse ace X, and not raise you very often.
I agree. Like it's the GTO world says never go for thin value or almost never, but in real life against real humans, this is a check. This is a bet fold situation.
what
I
Yeah.
think
what
he's
worse ace
check
X
back.
is he check raising on the flop though?
Yeah, he's
And like what
he
worse
either
hand, you know?
he either has like Jack 10 or a flush draw or like King
Ace
Queen
queen,
maybe.
yeah, king queen.
Yeah.
He might be check raising a mergey ace X on the flop.
I don't think
But
so.
which like ace 10, ace jack, that beats us.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not something that any of us would do.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
can
saying
see
like
that.
his check raises are beating us though. Like he's not is he turning an ace 5 of spades into a check raise?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it was such a small size, like he could be like, because like again, I'm putting him in a player class that would do something like this. That hey, I have an ace. Let's see where I'm at. I'm just gonna check raise him and see where I'm at.
Yeah, there might be some of that
Not
going
something
on.
I would recommend. None of us on this call would do it, and none of us,
No.
and we're all thinking
No,
that
it's just
even
so
a fishy
few,
player
like
is not going to
it
do
has
it.
to
But
be like the shittier aces that he does that with too, you know? Like so few of them.
I think this is probably a straight with a diamond blocker or just a flop flush.
Mm-hmm.
Or a turn flush rather. And he decides to trap.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think this is a check back. I think my initial gut was we check back. I think that's right here. All right, one more hand, and that's it for me. So I open 6-5 suited on the button. 2 calls, flop, 2 pair. This really comes down to
Nice.
one play here. You get the donk, and you get a second donk. Do we fast play or slow play the bottom 2 here?
Hmm.
fast play. If they have an ace, we'll get money out of them.
Yeah, you've got two players to get value out of. I feel like you can fast play this. The short stack in the big blind.
There's still some draws, too,
Yeah.
like 7-8 type stuff.
Yeah, so I think we get the fast play here.
25. Bet
I'm glad we're in
25.
agreement. I chose this size
Okay.
Maybe
and we
bigger.
get 2 folds. But we're all in
Alright.
agreement. This is a fast play. I think the way that I have heard 2 pair like this described, and not this texture's not that bad, but is 2 pair are a high equity but fragile hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because any ace here obviously can get a better 2 pair. And we've got straight draws. There's fragility to the, I like to think of it as a fragility to the equity here, especially multi-way.
There are no good cards to come on the turn,
Yeah, you're right. Good point. I think that's another good way to
except
look at it.
like another 5 or 6.
There's just a lot of ways to get outdrawn multi-way. So I think fast play is right here. All right, guys, that's it for me on hands. I'm gonna hand it back to whomever.
Who else has anything?
I know the crickets do, so that's what evidently it's the crickets. They've got hands.
I'll continue with that that table.
So guys, I gotta run. I'm going to make Mike the host. And Mike will finish up. I got something came up. Next week I think Scotty's back, but I'll confirm. And if not, maybe we continue the check raise because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did too. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was really effective.
Doing our
me
big
too.
blinds next week.
Sure. I'm gonna make Mike the host. There we go. Mike is the host now, guys. I'll see you soon.
Have a good one, Larry.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Good
guys.
luck out there.
Thank you.
you, Larry.
See you next week.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
All right, so this was that was the ace's hand. So the next hand, we're jumping ahead, probably looks like about 20 some hands here. 6s on the button with a bunch of an open from early position, a couple calls. I'm gonna flat this. I'm gonna overcall here.
Yeah. In position.
Yeah. Okay, we get
Set draw.
this little guy here. It goes check B50-ish, a little smaller than B50. This was the player that had the 9s, that had pocket 9s earlier. His stats have stayed relatively the same, somewhat tight. Has been aggressive when he's been in the pots. He overcalled an under the gun raise, which kind of caps him, but still pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to fold though, not with my specific combo of 6s. Maybe any pair of 6s I should probably not fold. I imagine any disagree.
Like, I don't know if the spades I don't know for sure, but it's a decent call. But I don't know, with like diamond heart with 2 unders to the 7. You got the back door, but it's not that great.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And you still have the opener behind you. We could have all over pairs.
That's a fantastic point. Yep, he's going to check pretty frequently his range here. Yeah, he can have aces, kings, queen, everything. Yeah. So luckily we get that fold. So now we are heads up. He goes a B, whatever that is, 60. I think I probably should just get out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. No arguments there.
Jack of spades or something.
But
But still, it'd be hard to realize our. Oh wow,
Wow.
that's wild. He has that. And he has like way too many bluffs.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now we don't see that. That doesn't get revealed to us till just now.
Yeah.
So for future actions, we don't see that. But yeah, I'm with you. I think that should be folded there. Next hand, now we move ahead probably another 20 some hands. And so now we tens on this button. Same player up here. Fish, overcall, and tens on the button. We have a
Squeeze.
pretty decently aggressive big blind. Small blind kind of seems solid, but nothing terribly out of line, doesn't seem like. I think I would normally default to just flatting tens, but I'm wondering if we should probably do need to three bet here on occasion. And should we just always do it? His stats say he's been tight. We never saw that 10 jack. We never saw the 9-9. We never saw that.
I think we can flat here.
If villain nine's like aggressive and is going
Yep,
to
let's
squeeze a
just flat
bunch, it
here.
wouldn't be that bad to flat, right?
Yep, tens are fine. Flatting to tens is fine.
Okay. We got a little dinky little squeeze and a overcall from the fish.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah,
So
The original villain, the tight villain, folded to a three bet.
yeah, this should be a pretty strong three bet, but his sizing is really, really effed up.
but this guy is short as well, so
Yeah, he did start with only
probably fish.
90. He started with 90 big blinds.
We can call here and use our position.
We're never gonna four bet though, right?
No.
He checks. We get
The
that
fish
from the
bets.
fish.
7-3 might be in his range. Sevens and threes are in his range, we'll say.
Now, all right. So the three better over here, the squeezer
Ace queen
checks
of clubs.
on this very innocuous flop.
So he's saying, I have ace king.
Right. Do we think that maybe the opponents, again, this is an anonymous pool, so we only have the 50 hands on them that we have right here. I can't recall seeing anything more than, anything unusual or anything. But my thought is the pool, the population, this unknown with these kind of numbers here, are not going to check as often as they should if they do have aces, kings, queens, or jacks, which are hands that beat us. So, which kind of led me to do that.
Yeah, I was thinking that because the villain might be betting eights and nines, and
Yeah, right.
you might want to get value now before the scary
Mm-hmm.
card comes.
Okay, good. That's where I was as well. I like to hear dissenting opinions. We get a flat now from the fishier player. And we get that. He checked.
Sweet. Beat some eights.
And he tanked his entire time bank. I was thinking this player could have jacks, maybe even queens as good as queens, just because he flatted an under the gun position. He's a kind of fishier player, not super aggressive. Like I could see players flatting those hands,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided to go for it because I think he has way more than that, obviously. And he tanked and called, and then he got there.
Oh, lame.
Uh,
Perfectly played.
Well
Yeah,
played.
pretty good.
Perfectly played, except you lost.
You got the money in when you needed to. Yep.
so he had king nine. This guy had ace jack off.
Wow.
Pretty a loose three bet there, and
Yep.
for a terrible size.
Also,
Yeah,
you
terrible
might
play.
just want to three bet yourself and isolate the fish.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that. I was torn with that decision as well. Next one, if we again stop me, guys. If somebody has a hand, you stop me, okay? Because
Okay.
gladly turn it over to somebody else. All right, so this is probably not too, it's only 77 hands in, so not too long after that. We got ace jack off, raise. We get a small blind flat, and again, this player has shown to be pretty fishy, pretty loose and passive pre-flop, somewhat aggressive post-flop. They check. I think typically I would just probably c bet, a lot here. I don't know if I do. Do I? I do. Okay. I go for the kind of B30-ish size. We get called. Uh, that turn, they check. I check back. Feel like we can show down ace jack against a range here on at a decent clip. They check, and now ace jack. I check back. Any thoughts?
I like it. I like the line.
Should we be stabbing more or trying to?
Nope. We
I
have
would
ace high.
probably I would check on the flop.
So don't c bet flop. Maybe delay c bet or just check it all the way down from.
I'm happy to
Probably
check
check
it
it
down.
down.
If they have a
So
pair of
check,
threes,
check.
good for them.
Or I would
But if you
bomb
had
it
a
on the flop.
diamond bet, would you bet with a diamond on the flop? Like ace jack of diamonds?
Yeah,
With
maybe,
ace of diamonds or something?
probably, yeah. Would be
Yeah,
better, I think.
yeah, for sure. Okay. He wound up. What do you have? He outkicked me. Next hand, we have eights to a 3x and a call. The button here has been pretty solid, like decent, kind of tightish, but nothing that, is standing out as bad or anything. Then we know this guy. We saw this guy earlier. Eights here. I think I'm gonna flat and open from the button, but squeeze it now, and I do.
Yeah.
Okay, that one gets through. We can see what they do this with. Ace three, yeah. So we know small blind. We don't see his hand at the time, but we were pretty clear this guy's a pretty bad player. Ooh, we got a hand. All right, so just three betting it always here. This is interesting. So he's not somebody who raises a lot. So he's raising to 3x. So that's good. Maybe I could exploit and go bigger. Look at that. Versus kind of the fishier players, I'm just never gonna not bet. And I don't know if I would consider this a size up on this flop. I think it's probably appropriate. Probably even go even size up to like B75 or pot versus these kinds of players. So we know
Struggled with losing weight and keeping it off.
they check. That's probably not the greatest card.
No.
But do we just keep going?
I guess.
You probably could check raise some jack queen on the flop, right?
A passive player check raising queen jack?
Oh, passive.
I mean,
passive.
I would say
But it
typically
says a lot of
no.
garbage, probably.
I wound up checking back. Do we hate that? Should we just keep trying to get value from queens, jack?
No, um, I've been watching Saulo Costa, and he's doing exploitatively against the fish. He bets the flop and checks the turn and always calls the river because they overbluff the
Because they
river.
overblow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On clean rivers, of course, or what?
Right, yeah, you have to kind of check here and then decide, right? Based
On
Maybe
on,
it's like
any
a
river.
jack on the river,
He
queen
calls
on
on any
the
river.
diamond.
because they're raising calling range. Let's say they do raise kings and queens and jacks and tens and nines and eights and then call. We're not like doing great anymore. Of course, queen jack can certainly be in their raise call range. 6, 7, maybe, maybe not. But
9, 10, 8, 9.
oh yeah, okay, two pair for sure, right? That looks like a pretty decent river
Jonathan,
for
2
us.
pair. Not horrible. Call.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You
So I
just said
was
call everything, right?
I was on team check call for sure until this happened.
Man, I'm a station.
Me too. In
We
my
block
I,
like the flush draw.
in my mind at the time, I do remember this hand. I was going to fold if I had a king of diamonds, but call without a diamond.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Be an
Am I?
8-5 or what?
Yeah, he had queen jack.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know. Because we know these over bets from like fishy
Yeah.
players, and
Stand,
unless they
standard
have
bluff.
some sign that they've been really aggressive, which he has aggressive stuff, but I just, this over bet was really like, oh shit. Okay, so
Fold.
fold, Derek, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, like overfold. And again, I was considering folding this hand. If I had a king of diamonds, I was certainly folding. So I did choose to call. This card was like just, I think, good, really good for us, but yeah, he just
Derek,
had it.
would you Derek, would you call with like queens, blocking his queen jack, pocket
You
queens there?
like live, like my rule, like I'm easy to exploit because most live players don't have the balls to show it out there like that on the river. So I like without the
Just
queens,
overfold to a big bet.
yeah, yeah. So queens, it's a harder fold, but kings is easy fold.
Okay, yep. Next one here, we have queen jack suited. This guy limps. I am going to raise it every time. I even size up. I would
Yep.
normally raise a limp to 3, sometimes 5, but versus this player, always going to be 5.
Yep. Yep. Make him make more mistakes pre-flop.
Mm-hmm.
He checks. We have top pair. Okay, kicker. Not the greatest, but
And
I'm
some
just gonna.
backdoors.
Yeah, I'm just gonna never not bet here against this player. We get a call. B33 maybe should size up too. I don't know. What do you think?
Size
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
Size
yeah.
up. Make money. You're playing against a fish. Size
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
It's
I
like
agree.
draws too, 6, 7, type stuff, 8, 10, whatever, all that straighty stuff.
That turn they check. Um, I don't know what I do here. What should I do? I'm thinking I should value bet, or like we just talked about, taking the check and then call line on the river kind of thing. What do I do?
I bet.
All right, I went B50.
To get a river check.
Yeah, like buy yourself the river.
Mm-hmm.
Really good river for us. It checks, go for value or too thin. I don't think it's too
Yeah,
thin.
I
No,
would
go
go
for
for
value.
value.
Yeah, go
Playing
for
against a
value.
fish. This is where the money is made.
Exactly. Will they call with
A
what
9.
would they have here? Jack 10, Jack 8.
I mean, like, blind versus blind, can a 9 even fold, really? Ace
Can
9
they?
or
Yeah,
whatever.
I check that.
25.
4-3 wouldn't got paid anyways.
But
What the
results,
fuck?
yeah, not being results oriented, I think I
Mhm.
did miss value.
How did he call the turn?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah. That's hilarious. How did
Here's a
he
gut
call a
shot, I
turn? For
guess.
what reason too? You know?
Okay. That one we saw. That one was that one was shown down.
Wow.
So now we are a good about 20 hands later. And okay, so Queen Jack off. I will my strategy is to call or 3-bet this at about a 50-50 clip. The fact that I have my particular suits tells me I'm probably going to raise. And
12.
I do. I
Does
do.
his
12.
VPIP, small
I
changes
like
at all? Would you like
13,
more
even
raise?
better.
Good question, Dean. Because I mean his VPIP, of course, this is for 9 max, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to include early position stats and everything. We can dive into it. I don't typically do it because I don't have time, because I've got 3 other tables going. But we could certainly like dive into it in game and look at pre-flop and see individual positions and like their button raising doesn't look. Can you guys read that?
A lot of zeros.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's played very many hands though either.
Yeah, let's see. We got 104 so far at this table. But yeah, I mean that's
But he
still
might not have folded to the button very much, Might have been just had her fold to raises before.
yeah. And these stats at 9 max are kind of normal. These are normal-ish type stats. His fold to 3-bet is 90%.
Mm.
So
Mm,
maybe, Dean, you're
yeah,
right. Maybe we just never call here. We just always 3-bet.
yeah,
I like it. I like
yeah,
3
I like
betting.
it too. Yeah.
He's in the steal position.
Fold to 3-bet too at the 90% pretty much. Like it's
Yeah. Okay, so we got that one through. We got a short stack limper, or actually we got a short stack poster, and then an over limp from another short stack, and a flat from complete from the small blind, and we have King 7 suited. I think
13.
I were here versus full stacks. If these were all full stacks, I think I'd probably like ISO this, but versus the shorter stacks, I just go with
13.
it.
Make it 13.
No, I'd probably make it like 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
Does the fact that these guys have shorter stacks, I mean, do you guys think if we had full stacks, does making it 8 or 9 here, does that make everybody go, what the fuck? Or are we
No,
okay?
no,
It's reasonable.
because if you're limping as a short stack, that means you're an idiot.
Yeah.
So basically, they wrote on their forehead, "idiot." So it would be immoral to let them keep their money.
and villain 7
I,
just
I,
doesn't really have shit either, probably.
I think it makes more sense to limp when you're short.
Yeah. So then tourist, let me ask you this then. Is my thought
How are
about
you?
not ISOing this because of the short
Good,
stacks,
good.
is
How's
that
the
valid?
BSW?
Yeah, because he can jam on
Oh,
you.
good.
Yeah.
Do you like her?
Yeah, that's what I
Good,
was
good. It's good to try it a bunch. Yeah.
where my
So
head was. Hey Derek,
well,
hey Derek, mute your mic for a sec.
okay. Hold on.
So there we got the flop, we got top pair,
Yeah. Okay.
kicker. Here we are.
Exactly.
Stack.
Yeah, I think I'm just always checking here.
Yeah, multi-way.
Well, of course it is.
But I was considering
Getting
leading.
It's also lead, yeah.
I was considering leading into these weak players for protection, but yeah, I think check because we have a lot of information to be gained and a lot of I don't know what I do. I don't think I like, I mean, I'm not folding, obviously.
I mean, I don't hate a raise because you don't mind stacking off against villain 14, really.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
villain 7 could just have like he just lint. He doesn't have like anything good. He can have like 8, 9, 4, 5 type stuff too. You know.
Yeah, and I think those
And
are
he could have
on
just
the good
crushed.
side of his hands.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Those are like the yeah, definitely good side.
He could
He could
have two
still have like
Broadway
8,
cards.
5. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I like it. Good size too. Hmm, that's interesting.
Yeah, we didn't like that, but we
Well,
got
he gets a good
a
turn.
little reprieve. So another kind of spot, I guess, like that's not clear to me. I think we just want to bet though, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
sizing?
How much like to get it in on the river? We want to get like a geo size, right?
Yeah, we are 3-1 SPR, which tells me it's about
25 or something. 30.
80 for 2E.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do? Oh, I went for the trap. I don't know why I would do that. He's not been aggressive. That's a mistake.
But like you said, you haven't been also you can't like when you're running tables, you're not like seeing how aggressive he is. You're not like looking deep into it, you know?
Yeah. Either way, yeah, I think I do look at this stat occasionally, even though it's like kind of doesn't really, apply accuracy too accurately because you need a lot of hands.
Mm-hmm.
But it does start to show itself when you get players that are getting, into big numbers. Like this guy's infinite. It does start to like show itself that they do tend to be aggressive. But this would not have like if I looked at this at the time and saw this, that would not have said, "Oh, I need to check and trap him." That.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think you just want to bet anyways because he called on the flop multi-way, so he probably has like at least a 7,
yeah,
you would think, and you're coolering like almost most of his sevens, 7, 8, 5, whatever you just limp on the pre-flop. There's like a lot
I
of
agree.
crappy sevens he cooler.
Yeah, that was a bad mistake. That was terrible. Even like you said, Dean, even if we look down here and this guy's been like a maniac, I think we should still be betting. Absolutely.
Maybe even more if he's a maniac. He might get check raised or something.
Yes, we did get that.
Min quick it.
Yeah. God, I hope I don't make another bad mistake here and just call. Why would I just call? I do. Oh my
Four
God,
five.
what am I
Four
doing?
five gets there.
That's terrible.
8, 5, you have to be limp, which
That's fine.
you weren't getting paid anyways, but still, yeah.
Yeah, again, that's results, and that's no reason to check that turn and then just call. I don't know why. Maybe I thought because he was so passive that he's just going to have too many better hands, like 6, 7, or I don't know. That was
Even 7,
probably
3. I mean, if he's calling with 8, 5, you could have 7, 3. But it was only one combo, really, because
Mm.
we have the 7 apart.
Okay. I will continue if you guys want to entertain me.
Yeah.
Okay. We are now 117.
Okay.
I think this table had 140 hands in it, and we are at
Oh, okay.
117.
Yep. We can call.
So we raise ace jack suited. We get
Definitely.
a plethora of calls. One who is a micro stack, and then another short stack behind him. I remember this just because of this guy. So which led me to just checking here, which I would anyway. Really hoping that this guy decides to go for it. We get all the way to the turn, and I certainly should be betting more often now, but I think I still was just like, hey, let's let one of these guys do the betting for me. It goes to there. I'm not sure if that's the greatest. Probably okay though, considering it's a double flush draw, and I go for a donk here. I don't know, a B20.
I'll,
Oh, it is.
I would probably go for check call.
Check call.
Yeah, because a lot of draws missed. So you let him bluff.
I get the min click. Yeah, the B20. I think I was considering bet calling here, like looking to induce. Like he's pretty short, and maybe I should just check to induce, or bet small to get called by worse. And he winds up min clicking. Yeah, and I wasn't gonna fold for that.
Checking. 10-8. You
It had 10-8 off all the way through to the river. Is this just stupid? Is that dumb?
No,
no.
And if he jams, we're calling, right?
Yep.
uh,
I would.
I don't think so.
No, we should fold.
Yeah, I think so.
Even though I kind of did it hoping to get jammed on, so then I shouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of dumb. It's definitely not something I typically do, but because of these two kind of fishier players, I went some kind of weird route. That was dumb. Next hand, we get a bunch of limpers. I don't know if, yeah, it looks like this is the same guy we saw with the 10-8 right here. And it gets around, of course, we're not gonna let that go. So we do that. And oh, okay. All right. You guys want to go down a rabbit hole? I've got a rabbit hole. This is kind of interesting, and see if you follow me on this. This is a particular player type.
B50, yeah.
I have been affectionately calling this player, and I don't know if it's a one individual player or if there's like a ring of these guys doing this, but I have affectionately called him Back Raise Betty.
Hmm.
And this has been happening a lot. Like I have a ton of hands marked from this player who limps behind, like over limps, and then back raises. And he does it with virtually his entire range. And I have learned that I can just jam any two cards that I have, and he folds. Literally, I've never not been successful against it. So,
Nice. It's pretty fucking. It's actually pretty sick from him though, right? It looks like a super nutted if you over limp and then back raise.
yes, and he's really successful at it. Like on all the times I've seen it. Like I'm serious, Dean. I have probably 30 hands marked with this play, and he's very successful at it. Like it always works, except when I'm in the hands with him. And
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
gone
because
back
you're
and
not.
I've looked at his hands, and they're trash. Like I've never seen him do this with a premium hand.
Mm,
Um, the best hand I've ever seen him do this with actually happens on this particular hand, which I'm beating, by the way, just spoiler alert.
ace
And
queen
he
something.
does ISO, like he ISOs his premium, so he doesn't limp behind aces, kings, and queens.
Hmm.
I've never seen it anyway. So when he did that, and this next guy here cold calls my ISO, which I wasn't too worried about because he just cold called, this short stacker here. And then he does that. If I had queen nine suited, I was jamming.
Nice.
And I've done it. Like I could show you, I've
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
30 hands lined up like this. So the tens were an absolutely
It's
no-brainer.
a sick exploit. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's really
It's like
crazy.
a re-exploit because fucking his exploit is starting to raise the over limp, to look nutted.
Uh-huh.
And then you figured it out and had to like exploit his exploit. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm
Except for
pretty,
that, I don't like villain 12 calling the jam. That's pretty
yeah, at this
stupid.
point I was kind of like, I don't really care. Like, of course, pre-flop, I don't really care because he
Yeah, pre-flop, yeah.
overlimped. So I wasn't too worried about that. Like, I'm okay getting it. And now when villain 11 called, like he almost always folds. Like it's almost, I've never seen him call when I've done this. So this, and like I said, this is the first time I've seen, this is
With
his
ace
best hand
jack,
I've ever seen him have.
nines. Oh, wow.
We got that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of a fun one. Really not much to really analyze other than to share that story about this player. I don't know if this specifically was uh over bet Betty or what I call her.
But
Back
it's still
raise.
like a marginal hand that he's, oh,
Back raise
back raise
back raise
betting.
Betty.
Back raise Betty.
Back raise Betty.
Uh,
Bam a lamb. Back raise Betty. Bam a lamb.
because he normally makes himself known pretty early because he number one he does this a lot, and number two he usually has much more aggressive stats. He's usually sitting like 30 27, 35 32. Like he's really up here and his three bets are in the 20s. Like he's usually easy to identify. So I wasn't too sure if this was still this particular player. And like I said, I wonder if there's like a ring of players doing this because I see it so often and I've seen similar profiles with multiple profiles at the table. Like I've had a hard time wondering which one is actually back to raise Betty. Anyway, that's that. This table's almost done. We're almost finished here with this session, and we get here Jack nine off to the fishy player. I'm gonna call
Yeah.
flop top pair. Probably gonna bet, yeah. Just gonna probably play my hand strength basically at this point. They check behind. It's been my MO so far on this in this session.
Nice. Hmm.
Mm. He goes B50. We've
Click it up.
Yeah. Do I just do another stupid call? Yeah, I do another stupid call.
No, why?
I don't know. This has been bad. I told you I think I played bad on this table. Ah, dang it.
Doesn't make
Blind
any
versus
difference
blind,
anyway.
two pairs become like pretty nutted though. I mean, you're worried
Yeah.
about 6-7 and queen 10, 7-10.
Yeah, that's mistakes. I've seen several mistakes versus this guy. Thankfully, you're right. I haven't really missed value against him, but I'm missing EV.
If you raised and he might have jammed with the 7. That would have been sucky.
Yeah, I would have sucked. And we're getting close to the end here. This is probably not too far along. Another orbit. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know why I marked this hand.
But I doubt he would have. That's the same villain. He doesn't check raise bluffs very much. He might have should have check raised that on the flop too.
Yeah, that'd be a
Before
great
he
hand
didn't
to check
check
raise.
raise you with the queen 10, queen jack, remember?
Mm-hmm.
On the 8-9 board.
Yeah, ace seven of spades here would be a great check raise.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the end of the marked hand. Like, this is just the rest of the session. So I think everything else here is just no V pipping.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thanks for
Yeah, good
entertaining.
stuff, man. I really enjoyed that exploit on the exploit on the exploit.
Yeah, I
The
can.
re-exploit is good stuff. Seriously, that's a good find.
Sometime Dean we'll do a little session and I'll like pull them all up, like all the hands, and just show it to you. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting to look at.
Well, thanks, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
When are you guys having another session?
So, tourists, we do this every Monday and every Tuesday at the same time. Mondays, we do kind of a similar thing like what we're doing here with the cards up. we'll go through hands. Like next week, our plan is to look at check raises and we expose all the cards. So we see everybody's cards at the time. And so it allows us to see what players are actually doing. Like we actually see like the kinds of hands that they're playing, what the population is doing. And we do that. And we go through and we kind of narrate what we think in theory what we should do, and then we go through the hand and see what actually happens. So that we do that on Mondays, and then on Tuesdays we do what we did today. We do like a lot of trainer work like we did, and then the last hour or two we go through marked hands. Like, so if you have hands that you want analyzed from the group, bring them in a replayer, and then normally Larry, myself, and sometimes some others, I think I hogged a lot of it just because nobody else had any hands, but we would just take turns just going through hands.
Okay, great. So around 6 p.m. you start.
Yeah,
Uh,
Eastern time, it's 12:15 Eastern, New York time.
yeah.
Where did you find the link for today?
On Discord.
Was it Poker Coaching Discord or GTO
Yeah,
Wizard Discord?
poker coaching.
Okay, yeah, it'll be up in the events tab of the Poker Coaching Discord. You'll always see it up there. It's the same link every day.
Okay, great.
Nice to meet you, Turris.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, guys. See you next time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Take it
guys.
easy. Yeah.
See you later. Bye bye.
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 Good game. Good luck out there, guys.